42nd Street. Alley hoop finger roll, ain't nobody checking me. Crossover through the legs, step back, hit a three. Still up in the hood, but got big baller tendencies. She just trying to get flued out to John Kennedy, just to see the Knicks play, make a couple memories. New York, if you ain't from here, don't pretend to be. And if you ain't rocking with the Knicks, you an enemy. Yeah, look at us, whole city is wild. This is New York, why y'all ever counted us out? Any game we attend, yeah, we taking it now. Fast break on the court, all up and down. Lead a garden in the pigsty, yeah, we get it on this side. Bacon, egg, and cheese or the lobster milk with the ribeye. Either way, we winning the overtime if we get tired. Get it with the team, yeah, that's just something we live by. Hey, yo, first quarter in, we gon' turn it up. Gotta warm up first, then we taking it dub. By the third quarter in, no, they ain't catching up. Gotta stay in the lead before that shot clock buzz. If the Knicks get a win, we gon' do it again. Make the finals once before, we gon' do it again. Bounce back in the fourth, we gon' do it again. It's been a while since the chip, but we gon' do it again, yeah. Yo, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up. Yo, put your hands up. If you from New York, put your hands up. Yo, look, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up. Look, put your hands up. Hey, yo, New York City, put your hands up. Sky, baby.
What up, whatever, what's going on, everybody? This is Church Guys Sports Show, post-game show edition for the 29th of May, 2025. Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals sees the New York Knicks stave off elimination by a count of 111-94, 17-point win for the Knicks. Biggest win of the series in terms of point differential. Biggest win of the series because it kept them alive. And a lot to talk about today, both good and bad. Yes, even in a 17-point win, there are some habits from the coach that are still a problem, that are absolutely still a problem. And we'll get into that in just a moment. But before we do, as always, we invite you to like, share, tag, and comment. Jumping into the comments to go real quick. Did you hear the new Knicks anthem by Busta Rhymes on Apple Music? I haven't heard it yet. I'll have to check it out, Sam. As Bucky Keaton lived to fight another day. Yep, lived to fight another day. We're back at it on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Will be Game 6 from Indiana. Yeah, Jamel, you and I have been talking all game long. This one was touch and go, even with a big lead. I mean, and it's bad when, as a fan, I'm sure, J-Mac, you're going to agree, when you've got a big lead and you don't feel confident. But that's where we are right now. Yeah, like Brunson said, one quarter at a time. And, that's been my edict since the playoffs started, even playing against Detroit and Boston. Win the quarter. As a coach, that's my mantra with my teams. Win the quarter. If we win 4 quarters, we'll win the game. Every quarter is its own game. Win 4 quarters, you'll win the game. That's how you have to play it. No, haven't heard that yet. That anthem yet. You already posted that. But Jalen Brunson tonight was Captain Clutch. He didn't have to do it in crunch time, though. He came out early and really put the screws to the Pacers. 32 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists for Jalen Brunson. Karl Anthony Towns, despite the foul trouble, another solid performance. 24 and 13 tonight for Karl Anthony Towns. OG Anunoby did not shoot well. 3 of 14 from the floor, but all 3 of those shots were big. All 3 of the shots he made were big. Mikal Bridges, 6 of 12, solid night. Most importantly, we finally saw Mikal get up into Tyrese Halliburton, which is what we've been calling for all season long. We went taking out Huck Porty's minutes, his 1 minute. Knicks went 10 deep tonight. But the problem is, and I'll let you jump in here, Bishop J. Mac. The problem I'm seeing, though, is we get this great production from our bench, but I am no longer going to credit these adjustments to Tibbs. These adjustments are born out of necessity of foul trouble. And so because of foul trouble, certain guys have to get into the game, and you see that they have an impact. I've been saying it all year. Everybody's been saying, "Oh, the Pacers are much deeper than the bench." No, they're not. Tibbs just doesn't play his bench. J Mac.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're going to get into it, but yeah, absolutely. The Nick bench was huge tonight. Um, that third quarter, where they bring in Precious, it wasn't because he wanted to.
Right,
It
right.
was because he had to. And this is
26
what
points from the
happened.
bench tonight, by the way.
26 points from the bench. Huge defense. Um, it's just frustrating. We won, and we're gonna focus on the good parts, but um,
Me too,
we're gonna
Keisha.
we're gonna be very objective, and
As always. Always.
so for those, well, it's really one or two that say we're not, but everybody that listens to this show knows that we are the most objective Nick fans around. Um, but this tonight, like you said, Bishop, I've never been more nervous about a 17-point lead in my life.
It was tough. And no, listen, Bucky Campaign has played his way onto the bench. He has been atrocious in this series. And to his credit, he's still up leading and cheering. He's a pro. He's a pro's pro. But Cam is one of those guys. He can be instant, but he's better when he gets regular reps. And because he hasn't had the Cam is more of an offensive threat than he is defensive. I think it was smart. That is the one thing I will give Tibbs credit for. He went to DeLon Wright, who is more of a defensive guy, and the DeLon Wright's defense on Halliburton has been phenomenal in this series.
And just to jump in here, and yes, I'm going to say it. Let's calm down this all-time great point guard talk about Tyrese Halliburton. Then again, it was an anomaly
Right, that
last
triple
game.
that triple double. I said it everywhere I posted. Kudos to him for having a great game.
8 points, 2 of 7 from the field, 0 of 2 from three, 6 assists. That's what your all-time great Hall of Fame point guard for the Indiana Pacers put up tonight in a closeout game on the road. 8 points, 6 assists.
Mind
Let's
you,
let's cut it out. Let's cut it
right,
out.
mind you, he doesn't. He even with the Knicks increased pressure on him, they still didn't body him the whole game like Jalen Brunson gets done. Jalen Brunson consistently gets 30 a night while getting knocked all over the place.
He's a spot up 3-point shooter. If
Right.
you leave him open and you let him set, he's a set. As Barkley said,
He's a set shooter.
Barkley said he's a set shooter.
It's a set shot. Yeah, that's because it's not a jumper.
Yeah.
It's a set shot.
It's a set shot. And the Knicks did a great job tonight. 1 or 2 possessions they didn't let him, but he was 0 for 2. He took 2 3-point shots tonight. That's what you got from your all-time great point guard about this guy. And this guy is overrated, and that's why he was voted overrated by his
because if
peers.
right
By his peers.
because if you did because a superstar. If you D up a superstar, they're going to find a way to get to their spots. They're going to find the way. You watch SGA. Like, I'm not even going to bring up Jalen Brunson. You watch SGA. You watch Ant-Man until Game 6. I don't know what that was.
We'll get into that.
I
at
felt
the
like
end.
he kind of gave
Yeah.
up, but that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But you watch SGA. You watch Ant-Man. You watch, and I'm just going to use guards. You watch Dame Lillard. Those are superstars. Because you put a great defender on them, they're going to find a way.
And, I'm going to say this too. Knick fans, y'all got to stop this negative talk against Jalen Brunson. Y'all got to stop. Y'all really got to stop this.
Wait, Keisha, Cat actually wasn't zesty tonight.
Oh,
Shut up, Keisha.
wait. Keisha, you need to turn on Inside the NBA right now.
Cat is zesty all the time.
He got on flip-flops in his Knick uniform as they're interviewing him on national TV. So you might want to turn over to Inside the NBA right here. Inside the NBA. You might want to back that up.
Listen, listen. Cat wears the orange and blue. I love him. I'm gonna root for him, but Cat zesty. I'm sorry, Cat zesty.
He's zesty, but he's zesty. Let's put it like
He,
that.
he's our guy, but he's zesty. He's
Yeah,
zesty.
he got a little extra salt and pepper.
Yes, Bishop Shelvis Green, my big brother in the Lord. Yes, we got it done tonight.
I agree with that one, Jake. Yes, he's mad Dominican. Yes, he is very Dominica. He's very Dominica. He
Right,
washed
Bucky.
He washed the heights. Yes, he is. He's washed the heights all day.
All day, all day. You're right, Bucky. People are prisoners
Yes.
of the moment, but but Bucky, that's the world we live in right now. Everybody is moved by one moment. On this show, you're gonna get seasoned guys, and yeah, I'm gonna toot our horn a little bit, who know the game
Yes.
and are not fooled by one great performance.
Right. The Knicks did what they were supposed to do tonight. They were supposed to win this game. If they didn't win this game and they got eliminated, it would have set New York basketball back. They had to win tonight. They did it. And they led from wire to wire. Kudos to them. They did what they had to do. They did what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to win tonight. This is what they were supposed to win to get to game 6.
Yep.
That's what they needed to do.
They
They,
did what
had
they
to
were
give
supposed to do.
themselves a chance. That's what they did tonight. Nobody's over here saying, oh, this, that, and the third. No, they won tonight. That's what they were supposed to do. They led from wire to wire, which I was surprised about.
They came out with a mission, and we'll get into more of that in just a moment. Overseer Bullard, yes, Landry Shaman and DeLon Wright are the players of the listen, and that's with Brunson and Cat doing what has never been done through the first 5 games of a series ever before, where you had 2 players getting over 25 a game in
Since
every
Kobe
game
and
of the
Shaq.
series. So since Kobe and Shaq in 2002, but Shaman and Wright are the MVPs of tonight's game because their energy when they came in the game in the second quarter changed this game around. This was a 5-point game when they came in the game, and they pushed the lead up to 12 before they came back out. Those guys have done the job.
Listen, Landry Shaman had his name chanted at the Garden. They was chanting Landry Shaman. Okay?
But what have I been saying about Shaman all season long?
We've been
Give
saying
him
it,
a
but
shot.
Tibbs
He is
won't.
not a bad defender. I know you need defense. Landry Shamet is a serviceable defender. No, Landry Shamet, you can't put Landry Shamet on Ant-Man. No. You can't put Landry Shamet on SGA. But you can put Landry Shamet on Tyrese Halliburton for stretches. You absolutely can. Because Tyrese ain't that guy.
Yes. Listen, let me tell you something.
He locked him up the couple of possessions he had him. He locked him up.
And I'm telling you, it was a great win. Again, what I was going to say about Jalen Brunson, this league is a shoot first point guard league now. It's a shoot first. The point guards are shoot first guards. That's what they are.
You just have to balance it now.
That's it.
The Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland days are over.
Over. That's done.
Where you have past first point guards. That's not today's NBA.
That's not today's NBA. So I mean, we harkening back to the days of old when we say, oh, well, he needs to get the team involved. Listen, let's put it like this. If Jalen Brunson doesn't come out and hit 3 of 3, where is the team tonight? Where's that game?
Right. He came out gunning tonight. He came out looking for his shot and then got others involved.
That's it.
Sometimes you got to do that.
And he's a shoot first point guard. SGA, yes, last night in that elimination game, he passed first, but typically SGA shoots. He's a mid-range shooting point guard. The only one that's not is Halliburton. Everybody else in these playoffs that was left, come on.
Halliburton is passed first. Kenny, there's no need to apologize for that statement. We all agree. Tibbs got to go.
Right.
And
We've been saying it for years.
Yeah.
On this show.
We'll absolutely talk about this as well, Sam, as Bishop L joins us. The pressure is back on Indy. Bishop L joins us in his magenta. Hallelujah.
Oh, I'm gonna leave. All I
You don't
know
have to leave.
is
This is your show. It's your show. You
I
ain't gotta
know,
leave.
but I just came out the pulpit.
Just out the. You left him out there shouting so you could come here and be in the show.
I was done.
Yeah, I knew it. They out there dancing. He in here with us.
The other night I was praying online in the Holy Ghost, and we won game 3.
So you saying you needed a preaching assignment on Saturday? Let me find some place for L to be preaching
I
Saturday
need
night.
some place to preach on Saturday, y'all.
Somebody have a service. Bishop L,
Quick,
call Bishop L. We need to
I
have a
will
service
come.
somewhere on Saturday.
No honorarium.
We,
I
we,
don't need to get. Just
we don't need
have
to
me come preach,
just let him come
and
preach.
let the entire church wear Knicks gear,
I like it. If I was in New York, I would have did it.
and we gonna go before the Lord on Saturday. All right. Good game. I didn't get to watch any of it except for what I was peeking at while I was preaching because it comes up on my iPad.
Yeah,
So
the notifications go up. Yeah.
Jalen
yeah.
Brunson was huge tonight.
Jalen Brunson came out gunning, had a great game tonight, 32 points. Cat was strong, 24 and 13 tonight.
How's his
But
knee? How's his
but
knee?
it's hurting him. You can tell
but
it's hurting him, but he
but they
played through
still
it.
can't stop him.
Yeah, even with a bad knee, he was
They can't
unstoppable
stop
tonight.
him. They
He was
can't
completely
stop him.
unstoppable tonight. He got in some foul trouble. Tibbs ended up having to go 10 deep, but it worked out.
Oh,
Precious
praise our
played
God.
tonight.
And you see the two. What I've been saying all series long. The two possessions that Siakam got the ball with Precious on him ended in a turnover and a bad shot.
Yo, Precious plays him so good.
And then this is what I'm saying. Put Precious on. Siakam not getting off if Precious got him.
Yeah. And you can tell that now it's starting to get to Siakam when Precious is on.
Yeah.
You can see it now. It's
Is
like, oh
anybody
man.
Landry Shamet locked up Tyrese Halliburton tonight.
is Donald
He's on.
Ballard
He's on. He
okay?
just said good game, fellas. He's on.
Jason Hendrickson.
No, he hasn't showed
Not
up.
yet. He hasn't shown up yet.
Okay. Because I don't even want to mention those guys. I don't even want to talk about them, to be honest with you. I I don't even want the compliment from Donald Ballard.
Yeah, he put it up on the screen already.
I don't even
Yes,
want the
Dre, you can watch the
compliment.
replay.
I don't even
It's
want the
safe.
compliment. I don't want the compliment because these people are such Nick haters. It doesn't even feel authentic. They're just saying it so that they can say, "Oh,
That
when
they're
you
not
guys
getting.
win, we give you guys compliments, but when we lose, y'all are all over us," which is not true.
Not at all. Yes, Noah Bullard, Overseer Bullard. Yes, Shamit showed how you're supposed to play yeah, he got over every screen. He did when he was on Hallie, he didn't let Hallie go nowhere. And DeLon Wright, same thing. They
And
tried to switch on
McConnell.
DeLon Wright,
And he played well on Mitch
and
McConnell.
he locked up McConnell.
He
You know,
locked up
McConnell
McConnell.
liked to get in the lane and go to that floater. Shamit was on him like, you're not getting that shot off today. You're
Yeah.
not getting that shot
So
off today.
the other night in the post game press conference, and I'm gonna leave on this note, and this is what is going to make I
Keisha said holy oil has locked him up. She called you
that
holy
girl is
oil.
prophetic. She's prophetic because I just
But
finished.
Keisha,
I just
you said
wait,
Precious
wait.
only played 4 minutes. Go ahead, Keith. Go ahead,
He
brother.
She's
did.
she's she's prophetic because I just finished mixing the oil in that church.
Oh.
No, I don't know who
But
she at.
Bucky says somebody find him a SDA church to preach at Saturday.
Precious only played
Um,
4 minutes, Keisha, but they were impactful minutes. That 4 minute stretch
It
that
was
he
it
came
was
in,
huge. Yeah.
it was huge. See, and that's
But
what
and
we
that was a
trying to get
dangerous
y'all to
time
see.
because at that point, remember they had cut the lead to 12. But those two possessions that he played, where he got Siakam on that turnover and then on that bad shot, we were able to push the lead back to 17.
And that's what people got to understand. the playoffs, you don't look at it and say only 4 minutes.
It's
You got to
game
look and see what
impactful minutes.
happened in those 4 minutes.
Right.
So while you're saying it's only 4 minutes, you got to go back and look at what Precious did while he was on the floor. He had two shots on Siakam. Siakam was 0 for 2. They swing the lead back up to 17.
That's
so those
huge.
4 minutes were big minutes because you had no Cat on the floor and you had no Robinson on the floor.
And he got
Both
an
of
and
those
one during
guys
that
were on
time.
the
And he
bench.
got an and one during those 4 minutes.
And he
On
got
the
an
offensive
and
end.
one. And he got an and one. So
Yeah.
it was an
impactful 4 minutes.
Those 4 minutes were big. So we can't say only 4 minutes. You got to look at those minutes and say, wow, if he didn't do that, where could that quarter have gone?
Yep.
Because the quarter, it was sitting there.
So
And Cat had picked up 4, and they were doing
could have took that
hack-a-mitch.
lead down quick.
Yo,
Right,
they was
'cause-
making
So
a
now-
run. They
Yeah,
were making a
because
run.
Cat
So
had
now-
picked up his 4th, and then they
Yeah.
started to do hack-a-mitch, so Mitch had to come out.
They had to take Mitch out because they were
So-
attacking him. So that's why
Here's
they
what I
put
want to
Precious
say, and then
in.
Here's what I want to say, and then I'm just gonna watch the show online. I'm gonna get myself together.
and get on out of it.
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Yes, it is.
Midnight is my birthday.
Yeah, so you might as well stay on for the next
Ballard
58 minutes.
is talking to you, Butler.
I don't have anything to say about it. Because there's nothing a Clipper fan can say to me.
Well,
There's nothing a Clipper fan can say to me. I don't even receive reception when they call me. There's nothing a Clipper fan can say to me. Not a thing.
yes, Sam
Not a
Jennings,
thing.
he made Miles Turner miss that dunk. Yep.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me
No, go ahead,
let me
Butler.
say
Yeah,
this
yeah,
so I
go
can
ahead, bro.
go. Here's what Jalen Brunson said after game 4.
Yeah, that was the game before this one.
He said, "Don't let us get game 5." That was his words in the post game.
On the
Or
refs
one of
tried
those
it tonight
interviews.
too.
They tried. They started. And we was in the chat.
He said-
here we go.
said-
Yeah.
He said,
The pressure is not on New
said-
York next game.
"Don't let us get game 5."
He's freezing.
No, the pressure's definitely on Indiana now because
Yeah, we was losing him. His signal is a little bit crazy.
Yeah. But the pressure is definitely on Indy. What he was saying was the pressure's on Indy now, and the pressure is on them. It's not on
The
New
fourth
York.
quarter, the start of the fourth quarter, the pressure shifted to Indiana because they went into the fourth quarter down 17. So when the fourth quarter was starting, I said the pressure is now squarely on the Indiana Pacers.
And now they're going to need another Herculean effort from Tyrese Halliburton in Indiana.
But
Can
if
he
the Knicks
give you
defend
another
him,
32
if the
point
Knicks
triple
defend
double?
him the way they did tonight, they
It's
won't
gonna
get it.
It's going. They won't get it. No.
They won't get it. I mean, because Reggie said it. As Halliburton goes, so go the Pacers. You cut off the head of the snake. That team's gonna crumble because they need him as a facilitator because there's nobody on that team that can play one-on-one. No,
Yes.
the only person that can kind of play one-on-one is Siakam, and
And
that's with a
that's in the
smaller
post.
man on him.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so if they can convince Tibbs to stay with Precious in those moments, they're gonna be shut down.
Listen, there were two key things that happened in the game tonight. On the offensive end, they played Jalen off the ball, bringing the ball up the floor most of the
A
night.
lot more. Yeah, because you had to give him a break from getting beat up.
Because
You
the
have-
refs
because the
weren't calling it.
refs are not going to give him anything bringing the ball up, which I think is a travesty. A guy has to be the guy wants to defend I watched the way Mikal Bridges defended Tyrese coming up the floor. He picked him up 94 feet, but he picked him up with enough cushion to allow him to bring the ball up, but enough to let him know, hey, there's pressure here. without fouling them, without beating them up, because we know we're not going to get the benefit of a non-call there.
That's right. Listen,
That's how you play defense.
plus minus for Halliburton on the floor tonight,
Minus
minus
what?
23.
He was terrible. He was awful tonight.
Minus 23 with Halliburton on the floor. And this is the guy that y'all want to, they ready to put in the Hall of Fame off of one game. That's why I hate this culture. This culture, man, like you said, it's about moments for this culture. He played one good game. Then you ready to say this guy's better than Jalen Brunson? Now, hey, the narrative was we need Jalen to play like Halliburton. Now, guess what the narrative is going to be?
We need Halliburton to play like Jalen Brunson.
He has no killer instinct.
He
Can't
doesn't.
close out. That's going to be the narrative.
That's not who Halliburton. We've been saying it for 2 years. He's a front runner.
He's not that guy. He's not that guy. It's because of the system. And tonight, I would love to see because they took down a lot of those fast breaks. They didn't let them fast break.
The Knicks didn't let them get out and run very often tonight. They got a couple. They got a couple breaks off of makes.
But the deficit was already there when they were doing it.
And the
it
Knicks
wasn't
slowed,
when the game was close.
The Knicks slowed this game down early. And they made them play New York Knicks basketball tonight.
Absolutely.
The Pacers can't play in the half court. That's the key to beating the Pacers. Make them play a half court game. They can't play because they have nobody that can just go out and get a bucket.
Well, I agree with that.
Danny Granger is not coming in through that door.
I agree with that comment from Ballard about, you can't worry about the refs. I've always said that. You just got to play. Once you know what it is, you just got to go out there and be like, well, it's us against the refs and the team we playing. You got to just go out there and go.
Ultimately, that's a true statement. And as a ball player, I completely agree with that. But as a fan, it is frustrating to watch your team get hosed on a regular basis and not get the benefit of having the game called evenly both ways.
Tonight, the refs did all right. They still missed a bunch.
They missed a lot of calls both ways again tonight.
Yeah.
It just seemed like they missed a lot more than Nick calls. And quite honestly, for all of Cat's drives to the basket, when are you going to start? And that's my point. When are you going to start rewarding the big man with free throw attempts? He's unguardable. That's not his fault. He shouldn't be penalized because he's unguardable.
They give him the Shaq treatment. It's like Shaq said. David Stern called him up to New York, sat him in the office, and was like, listen, if we call fouls every time you go to the basket, the game would never move on. And that's what's happening. They giving Karl Anthony Towns the Shaq treatment. They're not calling obvious fouls. They're not calling obvious fouls with him driving to the basket. And it's just sad. Josh Hart, this guy was feast or famine tonight. There was no middle ground with him tonight.
Josh Hart, I'm sorry. I appreciate his rebounding. I appreciate those 2 buckets late that he got playing big inside.
He was terrible.
Josh Hart, his head is not there right now.
I don't know what's going on with him. I've never seen him play like this.
This is the worst I've seen of Josh Hart since he's been a Knick.
Since he's been a Knick, yeah.
I don't know. And this is why I'm like,
cut his face.
Yeah, it's been all downhill.
Yeah.
Like his decision making has gone piss poor.
Yes. I mean, why does he still try to pass the ball in traffic to Robinson? Why are you trying to pass in traffic to
you got the ball
Robinson
for a floater 5 feet away. Why are you trying to make an extra pass? Shoot the ball.
And he's giving up in the pace shots, passing the ball all the way back out to the 3.
That's what we're talking about, Phyllis. We don't know what's going on with him.
Cross-court passes that's getting picked off. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on with Josh Hart, man. I'm surprised because, like you said, we haven't seen this Josh Hart since he's been here.
Right.
I don't know what's going on.
He has been a strong, high IQ player since he got here, and I really think it. And he'll never say it. And, his coach don't believe in it, but I think it's fatigue.
Yeah.
Because, fatigue clouds your judgment.
Yeah.
You drove a bus. they after a certain amount of time behind the wheel, you needed a break
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
fatigue will cloud your judgment. It'll cloud what you see. You think you see one thing and you don't really see that. You miss stuff. Your peripheral vision isn't as strong. Fatigue will mess with you.
Yeah, and I mean
That
now he's
that's in
coming off
any
the bench, but I
in
think
any
he's
gut.
just too. I think he's just too tired now. I think it's too late.
Well, I mean, if he's coming off the bench, but then you still playing him 34 minutes,
Still played him 34 minutes. So okay, he's not starting the game, but he's closing the game. So you
and
know
you're sitting your best defender, Mitchell
that was
Robinson.
the and that's the other piece we're getting to. He didn't bring back Mitchell Robinson, which we were in the chat going crazy. Like sit Josh Hart down and bring back Mitchell Robinson, but he didn't do it. I don't.
Who has impacted the game every moment he's been in this series.
Yo, did he lock? Did he lock up
He locked
Turner
up. He's
tonight?
been locking up Miles Turner the entire series. Play this man. Miles Turner has done nothing in this series, and
Yeah.
that's their big man. That's their pick and pop big.
Listen, the pressure's on Indiana now. Um, the Knicks can go in there and play free. They don't. No one expects the Knicks to win on Saturday. They're playing Saturday, correct?
Saturday, yeah, every other day.
Saturday at 8 o'clock.
Every
So
other day.
they don't expect it. No one expects the Knicks to win. They said Pacers is 6, so the Knicks can go in there and play loosey goosey. And like you said, if they play defense like they did tonight, it's gonna be tough for Indiana to win that game.
This I agree
Even
with
in
Donald
Indiana.
Ballard. Corey, I completely agree with this. Josh Hart's worn out.
Yeah, he's tired. Yeah,
And
we were going in the chat about Josh Hart, about me and
and the
Bishop D-Lo.
and even with Hart at the free throw line, the moment that uh Carlisle waved the white flag, you got to get your bench guys in.
Well, that's the third point that we're gonna get to about Tibbs, is that this guy will
The
play.
moment I see him wave the white flag, I'm like, all right, clear the bench. Let's go. Everybody get in here. Let's
Right.
go.
He
But
he
there's
gave
no
up
need
with
to
two
wait. He gave
with two
up.
with 2:28 to go. He waved the white flag. Okay? He was
He
already
made the
looking at
decision we're going to
Indiana.
play for game 6. So at that point, you start playing for game 6. It's not hard. Because let's go back to the end of the first half. You get the ball back with .6 to go.
Oh
And
God. We were going in.
why are you putting it at the end of the third quarter? I'm sorry. Why are you putting Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson back in the game? You're up 17 with the ball to start the fourth.
Terrible substitution.
There is no need to bring them back. Just get the ball in, run the clock out there, and then get a good shot to start the fourth.
Terrible, man. Terrible. Terrible.
I'm not
Yeah.
risking an injury or tiring them out further when they're getting a nice long rest because we've got a lead.
And
You don't
Cat
get
is
them up.
al-
You don't get them up off the bench for .6.
Cat is already hurt. Why are we bringing him back in at that
Right.
point?
Getting a bucket there would not have mattered.
This is what I'm saying, man. This guy, I just don't know. I just don't know this coach, you know,
Well,
you
see, this
know.
is just it. I understand your point, Donald Ballard, but
But it
here's
was after the 2 minute mark bringing him back in. They couldn't
but
do
but
it.
even before that, if you go back to Mitch early and you're still up 15 or 16, they're not going to play Hacker Mitch because they know there's a risk of him making one of two. Like you get it down to around 10, 12, then you can play Hacker Mitch to kind of whittle the lead down because you got time. But the Knicks were up 15 at that point. Put Mitch back into the game, get another bucket. They're not going to Hacker Mitch down 17. They're not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just done with this. I'm done with the coach, man.
Yo, he's got to go.
We're gonna win it. If we win, it's gonna be in spite of him, not because of him.
The game, no, you're right, Bucky. Game 1 was traumatic, but it wasn't game 1 because Tibbs has always done that. He has never pulled his starters with a big lead. And this is my thing. I'm not saying pull them as long as the Pacers still had their guns on the floor. But Carlisle pulled his guns with 2.5 minutes to go.
Don't forget in the Boston series, they were up. What? How much were they up? And
38.
they were up 38, and he still had the starters in. So, I mean, they were up 38 with a Tatumless Celtic team.
And I get it. This is a different league. No lead is safe, but 2:28 to go, and the opposing coach waves the white flag. Now, I get it. You wait for the opposing coach to blink. I'm not mad at that. But once he blinked, get your starters out the game. Once Carlisle said, all right, we'll see you Saturday, that's your cue. Why are they in the game for another minute?
I'm telling
Anything
you,
can
man,
happen in that minute.
I've never been
2
a
years
Chiefs
ago,
fan.
Julius Randle went out in a 17-point game with 4 minutes to go against a depleted Miami Heat team without Jimmy Butler because Jaime Jaquez undercut him in a game that was over.
He left Randall out there, and that was Randall's demise. You know, listen, I'm happy they won tonight. It was a big win. Great win, great character, showing up, staving off
Kudos to the
elimination.
Knicks. Even if they lose Game 6, they played with character tonight. They didn't get knocked out on their home floor. I respect it. Good job by the Knicks tonight. But I'll be honest, I fully expect them to win Game 6.
Listen,
I
am
fully
more
expect them to
confident
win
now.
Game 6.
I am more confident now that we've gotten to Game 6 than I was before tonight. I am much more confident in the Knicks going into Indiana and winning that Game 6.
Listen, Jalen Brunson is scary. He is truly the best clutch player of this modern era. And this is no shade to nobody. But think about it. And J-Mac, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The last great clutch player that was in the NBA was Kobe Bryant. He was the last great clutch player. Where in the fourth quarter, you were like, yeah, he's going to win this game for his team. There has been nobody since Kobe that you could consistently say that about until now. To where if the game is close in the fourth quarter and that guy's on the other bench, you're nervous. That's Jalen Brunson now. And I'm not saying it because he's a Knick. I promise y'all I'm not. I'm being objective. Over the last 4 years, I have watched this dude become the best clutch player in the NBA. And with the game on the line, there is nobody you want on your team more than Jalen Brunson. Yes, he's undersized. Yes, he's slow and fat. But the dude gets it done.
Big body Brunson.
Right, Bucky. They need to be up 60 at home for homie to pull the starters. And even then, he might not pull the starters.
I was about to say, he still wouldn't pull them.
All right, Corey. See you Saturday. Game 6. Yep.
Game 6. See you after Game 6. We'll be here.
My brother Muhammad, Knicks in 7. That's all. That's what the crowd started chanting, and I'm gonna sit there with Knick fans. Shh.
Right. Let's be quiet.
Just win Game 6.
That's it.
Just win Game 6.
Get to Game 7, and then let the chips fall when they
right. When the buzzer sounds at the end of Game 6 and the Knicks have won, then on Monday, start the game chanting Knicks in 7 and rattle the Pacers in that building. Chant Knicks in 7.
They were rattled in there tonight.
Oh yeah, that was clear. Clear.
And Carlisle had to tell them, but they never got over it.
And this is why the Knicks are dangerous. What's Tips trying to do? Run the score. JB is Mariano Rivera in a Knicks jersey. Enter Sandman? Could be.
Yeah, he did his clutch. He did his clutch impression in the first quarter tonight.
Yeah, he said I can't wait to the fourth. I got to send a message tonight. He put his team on his back. He understood. He did what a captain does. He came out and gave his team confidence.
What he scored 13 in the first quarter.
14.
12?
14 in the fourth quarter. Didn't score in the second. 15 in the third. 15 in the third. So, listen, coming back from a 3-1 deficit to win a series is very Knicks considering the 20 point. Listen, 320-point comebacks in the playoffs this year alone.
6-1 on the road. 6-1 on the road.
6-2.
6-2 rather. 6-2.
which is still fantastic. 6-2 on the road, second best road record in these playoffs.
Behind
going
Indiana.
going to a building that they're not afraid. Right, Indiana is now 6-1 on the road, so they're a half game back at Indiana for road wins. So they need to win so they can take first place in road wins. But
And get game 7 in your building, I'll take it. We gotta win. Well, listen, it's 2 must wins. Tonight was the first.
yep. But again, as we said, and we won't stop saying it till after Saturday's game, the pressure is squarely on the shoulders of the Indiana Pacers, because again, this is also, I mean, for all of the talk of them being a young upcoming team, that is very true. They caught an injured Cleveland Cavaliers team by surprise in the second round. They caught a Milwaukee team that, quite honestly, is poorly coached in the first round and was missing Dame Lillard.
Dame Lillard injured Achilles, he was going.
They caught a Cleveland team who, in my estimation, I was saying over all year, even with 64 wins, I've said it all year, they were overrated. But now they're matched up against a team that's a lot more evenly matched with them, especially if the coach plays the players that he has. When you go to Vegas with chips, you don't leave your chips in your pocket. You play them chips.
I understand, Jake, about the game 1. Listen, game 1 stings. If the Knicks lose this series, we're going to point
Everybody's
going
to point back to game 1.
We're going to point back to game 1, and rightfully so. So, yeah. But right now, the Knicks are still alive. They staved off elimination. They got 2 games. They're essentially getting ready to play 2 game 7s. They got to win game 7 Saturday,
and then they
got to
win
win game 7 on Monday. So they essentially played themselves for 2 game 7s. They got 2 game 7s coming up. That's the way you got to look at it. They got 2 game 7s. Indiana too, and Indiana got 2 game 7s.
Yep.
But they got to look at Saturday as their game 7.
Right, because
and that's the pressure on them.
I don't think Indiana wants. Last year was different because they knew they were coming back to New York for a game 7 against a banged up Knicks team. I don't think Indiana wants any parts of coming back to New York for a game 7 against this team. I don't think they want any parts of it because and you got to remember what I was going to say is this is an Indiana team who has never been here before. People say, well, what do you mean they've never been here before? They were in the conference finals last year. They got smoked in the conference finals. They were completely outclassed by the Celtics last year.
And Halliburton got hurt, and Halliburton got hurt in that series. Once he went down, that was the
right.
End of the chances.
This is a young Pacer team who has never been in this position before, where they've got to close out a beast of a team.
Siakam is the only one.
Yep, and he's not enough because Siakam is not a superstar.
No,
that's not enough.
And now we can stop saying that Halliburton that's the most important thing. Let's stop with this Halliburton talk. This guy had 8 and 6 tonight in an elimination game.
Listen.
This guy was 2 out of 7. He took 7 shots tonight. A lot of that was Knick defense, too. Let's credit the Knicks.
Oh, yeah, credit the Knick defense. But, again, a superstar will find a way to impose his will. By contrast, in an elimination game with bodies draped all over him, Jalen Brunson was 12 for 18.
Right.
4 of 7 from 3. In an elimination game, Karl Anthony Towns was 10 of 20. That's what you're supposed to do. And Cat, it was important because, remember, they killed him for disappearing in Game 7 last year.
Yep.
They killed Cat for disappearing in Game 7 last year. You had to know he wasn't going to let that happen again this year.
Halliburton is at the podium.
I don't want to hear nothing he got to say. I don't. He's a clown.
Looking like a clown with his hat turned backwards.
He's a clown. He's a front-running clown. He's a wannabe. He is he's corny, as Keisha would say. Keisha, where you at? You got to say it for me one time. Halliburton is corny. And if I'm Rick Brunson, I get to the locker room just a little bit early on Saturday, and I tape a picture of Halliburton with that choke sign in my son's locker. And if you don't think that moment from Game 1 is fresh in Jalen Brunson's mind, you're crazy.
Oh, it was in his mind tonight.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. If y'all don't think that that's fresh in Jalen Brunson's mind, because if you notice, like Jalen was all business tonight. You didn't even see the celly tonight like that on his 3-pointers. He was all business.
He didn't crack one smile. He was, if you notice, him and Rick Carlisle was going at it. They played it down on TV, but him and Rick Carlisle was having a conversation. They were jawing at each other.
He probably told Carlisle, "You're right, Sam. Halle Berry."
Halle Berry.
That's his name, Halle Berry. Right, Bucky? No, not a single, not a one.
He did not crack one smile tonight, even when the game was closing out.
Not
Halliburton, on the other hand, walked off the court with a big smile on his face.
Because he's smiling because he thinks this is easy until he walks into that arena on Saturday and realizes. And don't forget, there are going to be a ton of Knicks fans in that building on Saturday too.
Right. They don't ice the Knicks fans out in Indiana.
So that building might be split 50-50 on Saturday. It may sound like a college game on Saturday. That building may be split 50-50.
A lot of the Knicks or ex-Knicks players are going to be there.
They're going.
A lot of the stars from Celebrity Row are going to be there, and then the fans are going to fly in to go there because tickets are cheaper in Indiana than they are in New York.
Yep.
So it's
You can
cheaper
get a
to
flight
fly
and a game ticket to
Yeah.
Indiana for the cost of a ticket into the car.
Yeah, it's cheaper to fly there and buy a ticket than to just take the train and buy a ticket in New York.
Listen, and the fact that you can even be a fan of these other teams and get a ticket in Indiana tells you something about. Well, I'll leave that alone.
Listen, it happened in Philly last year. Listen,
This
the
is
Knicks
why
took
these
that
teams
arena
hate the
over.
Knicks. This is why
Yeah.
these teams hate the Knicks.
The Knicks took that arena over last year.
I mean, when it's so bad that in Detroit this year they literally put in a rule to where you had to put your zip code in order for you to be able to buy tickets because they didn't want anybody from outside the greater Detroit area to buy tickets because they know how Knicks fans get down. You know it's serious. When they gotta ice your fans out.
They had to ice them out.
Tyrese Halliburton tonight was 2 of 7 for 8 points.
Didn't hit a three.
Only took 2. Pascal Siakam was the only player in double figures, and he was 5 of 13. Naismith, 1 of 8. Miles Turner only took 3 shots.
What's his name off the bench was good for them.
Well, Benedict Mathurin is
Mathurin.
He's always been an X factor. He's like the one guy on their team that you could say, okay, this guy, he's a problem. But everybody else, they even shut down T.J. McConnell tonight. T.J. McConnell, 7 points.
The Knicks defense was huge tonight.
It was.
They actually ran players off the 3-point line tonight. Wow. And what do you know? You win the game.
Knicks shot 49% from the floor to the Pacers 40. And I'm glad Chuck did that. The Bleacher Report just posted that Chuck ripped Karl Anthony Towns to his face about dumb fouls. I agree. I gotta.
Man, why do you be getting them dumb fouls?
He told Cat, I gotta criticize you. Why you be getting them dumb fouls? Cat does commit dumb fouls.
It's frustrating.
Him and Josh Hart, dumb fouls. Josh Hart, I've noticed his problem is he reaches too much. And every time he'll be guarding somebody great, and then we'll reach in at the last minute and get called for a foul.
Karl Towns, he loves to push people.
Like that Siakam foul, like that gave him number 5. I'm like, what are you? He's falling away from the basket. You made him take a good. You played great defense. You
Let
made
if
him
he
take.
ma-
You made him
if,
take a tough shot.
if
You
he
live with the
makes it,
result.
if he makes it,
Hat off. That's it. But he probably wasn't gonna make it. That's how you let teams back into games. You can't you get a team like the Pacers on the hook like that. You can't let them off the hook. You can't. Bucky said Caitlin Clark sells more tickets in that arena. You right.
she does.
Detroit did all that and we still beat them. Yeah, but that's what we were talking about the other night, Sam. How the league, these owners are jealous of what the Knicks put up in terms of the people wish their fans were as rabid and passionate as Knicks fans. There's no other fan base in the NBA that travels across the country with their team like Knicks fans. Knicks fans are nuts. You know how many Knicks fans there are here in Central Virginia where I live? I go to Walmart. I went to Walmart the other day with my Win for the Boroughs t-shirt on. Every 5 seconds, we gonna get that game tonight. This is there. Knicks fan. One of the Walmart employees stopped me. Older black gentleman who was doing security at the door and was like, "Yeah, man. I'm from New York, from the Bronx. I used to root for Willis Reed and Clyde and them." Then Knicks fans are everywhere.
Yo, even in Atlanta, bro, you got more Knicks fans down there than you
Then you
have
got
Atlanta
Hawks
Hawks.
fans.
I'm
Right.
telling you. I'm
I
telling you when
believe
I'm
you.
there.
I believe you.
I wear my
Absolutely
Knicks,
believe you.
and I wear my Knicks gear proudly.
Proudly. Proudly. I go
And
out
people
in my
become
Knicks
because
paraphernalia. Yep.
it's nothing but New Yorkers down there, and they
We
still are
saw it in
rooting for the
Florida.
Knicks.
You went to Florida. I went to Florida. You in Orlando, me in Miami. Like, yo,
Yeah,
it's Knicks fans every. We've been to games in these arenas out of town where it's like, well, dag, am I in the Garden?
I've been at the Airway Center in Orlando. I've been to games there. I was there for the first game Carmelo played on the road against Orlando. I was in that building when we first got Carmelo. We bought tickets and went to that game because we was on vacation. And my wife said, "I can get us tickets." I said, "Get them." I said,
And
"Get
you
them."
was sitting there like, am I sitting in the Garden right now?
It sounded like the Garden.
Because that's how I felt when I went to American Airlines Arena in Miami with my best friend. I'm like, he was like, yo, bro, there's so many Knicks fans down here, it's not even funny. I remember that night. That night, it was three quarters Knicks fans. And that was one of the years where we weren't even good.
And that's the other piece to that is that the Knicks sell out their games even when they're bad.
Yep. Yeah, Test for great win tonight. Got to play 2 more times like this. Yep, to move on to the finals.
Game 6 is really game 7. And that's the way they got them. That's the way they got to sell it to the team.
Right, because Game 7 is a crapshoot because anything can happen.
But Saturday's game 7.
So Saturday's a game I agree. They have to go in and take that game.
Yeah, that's a game 7 Saturday. That's game 7.
Knicks are a worldwide movement. It's true. You know, they say the Cowboys are America's team. I think it's the Knicks.
Bro, I was in France 2 years ago in an Uber. My wife has the video. The cab driver could barely speak English. He started asking me about the Knicks. He was telling me about his son was a Knicks fan. We were in London. In London, bro.
I believe it.
And dude is talking about the Knicks.
It's a global movement, like Sam just said. It's a global movement.
That's why people hate the Knicks. That's why.
I'm convinced.
Knicks ain't won nothing in 52 years, but it's still the most popular franchise in the league.
And the most expensive franchise there is in sports.
And if they ever win a chip,
$40 billion, easy. $40 billion. That may be the thing that finally prompts Dolan to sell.
Yeah.
because the money that the Knicks will fetch as an NBA champion, and I believe Jalen Brunson has catapulted it to like the top 5 in jersey sales now. Like it's different. Yeah, you can. I stay away from Get Up and all that stuff, especially once we started doing this show, because I realized I can do this. We can do this job a lot better than a lot of these pundits that are out there. So I don't really watch none of them at all. And the only person I used to listen to, and I don't even, now they broke up the team on ESPN radio. I don't even listen to Michael K no more because he's on in the mornings, and I used to listen to him in the afternoons. But now, I mean, and not that it's bad because Alan Hahn is great as well, but I just don't anymore.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I looked at First Take or anything like that.
I don't know. Keisha watch it religiously. I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do Stephen A. anymore. I'm sorry to bring his name up, but I just can't do it.
I can't do any. I can't really do any of them because the only one that I feel like, as much as they hate him, with valid takes is Perk.
Yeah,
Perk is the only one that's objective and has good solid basketball takes. The rest of them, I'm just like, oh, y'all just looking for clickbait. I don't have time for this. Y'all
yeah.
y'all saying stuff for clickbait, and I just want the Knicks to win. I mean, obviously, I want the Knicks to come back as a fan, but there's only one pundit out there that I want the Knicks to come back for, and that is the former Celtic Paul Pierce. I need to win this series so Paul Pierce can go jump off a bridge. And I know it's terrible for me to say that. It's absolutely right. It was Perk that gave him the name Big Body Brunson. Think about it. Perk saw it, but Perk acknowledged Brunson's superstardom before anybody else did. Perk was the first. And when they challenged him on it, he was looking at him like, nope, I'm 10 toes down. Brunson's a superstar. And then Brunson showed that he's a superstar, and everybody had to come back to Perk like, you was right.
Listen, I know we got to shoot first point guard. Does he dribble the air out the ball at times? Yes. Does sometimes he doesn't make the right decision sometimes? Yes. But I'm willing to live and die with him. With his decision making, his scoring. I'm willing to live and die.
This is a great point, William Stinson Jr. Totally off topic of basketball, real quick. Trick Williams being the new TNA champ, I'm for it because there's no room for him for a main championship on the main roster right now, and it gives him a chance to carry a big time championship because the TNA belt is a big deal. So I think it's great for Trick and will eventually set him up when the WWE title picture clears out for him to make that ascent into that upper echelon. Because quite honestly, he's been held back in NXT because I hate to say it, but the main roster is top heavy.
Yeah, there's no room for him on the main roster.
Yeah, the main roster is top. So good job by Triple H. Send him over to TNA where he can continue to build, do it with another audience, and he can hold a prestigious championship over there.
I think that the TNA base doesn't like it. What's his name? Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth doesn't. Nick Nemeth went off today.
Yeah, but it's good for business. It's good for business. And Nick Nemeth, I'll get to that. I can't wait till we get back to our regular Tuesday shows. Not too fast. I want the Knicks to keep going. But there's a lot of wrestling stuff to discuss that we haven't had a chance to get to.
So much going on right now.
There's a lot of wrestling stuff that we need to discuss at some point. Jake Bucky said, "I want Paul Pierce to walk from MSG to Juniors for some cheesecake." I had something to add to that joke, but it's the Church Guy show, so I am not going to do it. And it was about a currently incarcerated record mogul. So I'm just gonna leave it.
And a substance.
And a substance. I was just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it though. I'm gonna leave it. I'm just glad Davey is not on here tonight because he would have took the bait.
Oh
Davey would have
man.
took the bait.
Oh man, goodness.
But yeah, Stinson, yeah, I think it's good. It's good for business, and Nick Nemeth is just salty because he never got the WWE run as champion that he thinks he deserved, and I get it. But dude, you had a contract that was fantastic as far as we know with the WWE. Vince loved you so much. You can't don't get Nick Nemeth was great for elevating talent. He was fantastic. And you made a lot of money doing that. A lot of money doing that. Be happy for Trick. This is Trick's time.
And you made money sitting in catering.
Right, because you had a period where you was off TV forever.
You were making money sitting, eating, and catering.
So, like, let Trick have his time.
Right.
I watched First Take for the first 30 minutes. Then I tune out. I respect Perk because he's objective. Yeah, especially about the Knicks. And literally the first person to actually acknowledge the Knicks in real time when we made the turn. I agree with that. I absolutely agree. Perk is the only cat from First Take I recognize. Brunson, that's all. That's all that needs to be said tonight. That's all that needs to be said.
Listen, we needed every basket he shot in that first quarter, man.
Bucky, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Oh,
I'm not
God.
doing this with you. I'm not. Nope. I'm not doing this with you, Bucky.
Johnson and Johnson.
Clarence Vermont Keaton Jr. We are not doing this. We are not doing it. Mick Pierce walking back. Come on, y'all are giving me too. I'm trying to stay away from these jokes. No. No.
Listen, you see, I ain't touching it. I ain't touching it, bro.
I'm not doing it, y'all. I'm not. I refuse. Now, if somehow we pull this series out, I might do it. But right now, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Good night, Buck, man. Love you, bro. But Knicks game 6 Saturday. There will be a game 6 on Saturday for all those that were saying Pacers in 5 after the Knicks went down 3-1. I said it on the show. I fully expected the Knicks to come out and win game 5 tonight, and they did. And now as we've stated, the pressure is squarely back on the shoulders of the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers do have the advantage of having game 6 at home, but this is a position they have never been in before. And the fact that they're a win away from the NBA Finals, that's pressure. And this is a young team who is the only person who's ever been here before is the coach, and he ain't playing. And for all the game plans, the players got to go out and execute. And if they don't execute, so I fully expect the Pacers to come out and try to punch the Knicks in the mouth on Saturday.
The Knicks ain't gonna let them though. The Knicks are
Right.
gonna do right.
And
This is gonna be a nip and tuck game.
And
fourth quarter.
that favors the
That
Knicks.
favors New York. That favors New York, Brunson, Bridges,
Cat.
Towns, Cat. Yeah.
Yeah,
That favors.
it favors us because we have a team of guys who have been in these positions before. And so I am looking for a close game. And if it's close in the fourth quarter, there'll be a game 7 on Monday.
If it's within 5 points going,
If it's between 5 and 10 points going into the fourth, there will be a game 7 on Monday. There will be a game 7 on Monday.
And man, let me tell you, I'm not looking too far ahead.
The Pacers need to blow the Knicks out on Saturday. They
But
need
if the
to.
Knicks get back to MSG,
The
this
way the
city
Garden
is-
will be rocking.
this
on-
city is going to be. Listen, I'm going to Doyle's on Monday.
Listen, I'm telling you, if there's a game 7 on Monday, the fans have from the moment they run out into the court for warm-ups, they need to just be chanting Knicks in 7.
And they need to just go ahead and have the National Guard have the National Guard on speed
standby.
dial. Yep. Have those sanitation trucks blocking off 7th between 34th and 33rd. Have the trucks blocking the street because they're gonna shut that block down.
Yeah.
Even before the game start, that block, you're not gonna be able to get in that block.
Yeah.
That's gonna be it. I'm telling you right now.
That is absolutely true. No lies detected.
It's a must win for Indiana or Saturday. It's a must win for the Knicks, but the pressure is on the Pacers.
Yeah, the pressure is
It's a
completely
must
on the
win for
press.
both teams, but the pressure is squarely on the Pacers.
Yeah, Siakam did win in Toronto, but he's the only one. And again, Siakam is not a superstar caliber guy. Remember, Siakam won with Kawhi. He has never won as the focal point of any offense.
Right.
The Knicks, and while no current, no current Knick rotation player is an NBA champion, because PJ Tucker is an NBA champion, but no current Knick rotation player is an NBA champion. All of them have some sort of championship or conference finals experience. OG is a champion. Okay, I'm sorry. One Knick rotation player has a championship. OG Anunoby.
OG. But he
Mikael
was hurt
Bridges.
during that. He didn't play, did he?
He didn't play in the finals. No.
Right. He didn't play in the finals.
Mikael Bridges went to the finals, to the conference finals. No, he went to the finals.
Went to the finals with
He went to the
Phoenix.
finals, right? He went to the finals. Campaign's been to the finals. Landry
Yeah.
Shamit's been to the finals.
All three of them. So you got people on the team that know what it is. Hey, even
Brunson
though
has been to
hasn't
the conference finals. Brunson's been to the conference finals
Right.
with Dallas.
Right. And he's won NCAA tournament.
And that's it. Brunson, Hart, and Mikael have won a championship. Granted, it's not a pro championship, but listen, a championship player is a championship player. It still takes a certain level of play and a certain type of heart to get to that point.
Certain mentality.
So, this is a camp championship cat conference finals. So you've got guys who have been there before. Precious Achua, NBA champion.
And thank goodness, Cat, we haven't had one of those dud games from Cat like he did.
No, he's been great this series.
Like he
Offensively,
did last year.
he's just got to stop these stupid fouls.
That's his problem. He's got to stay on the floor.
Absolutely. Yep, it's hard to close out a team, period. You're right. And the Pacers have not had to do it against the likes of a team like this. Like, the one thing I will say about my Knicks is they don't quit. They don't quit. If the game is close, you have to play daggone near perfect basketball against them in the fourth quarter if the game is close. Because if you make mistakes, they're gonna exploit them. Knicks have got to be one of the best fourth quarter. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm gonna have to look it up. But the Knicks have got to be one of the best fourth quarter close game teams in the NBA. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in games decided by 5 points or less, I believe they only lost 3 all season.
Wow.
Let me check this.
Well, I just think, like I said, I'm grateful that they won. Grateful that they didn't go out like a wet firecracker like Minnesota did last night. Because that's what I was like, man. I hope y'all watching this next. I turned it off at halftime. I went to sleep.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
Oh yeah, I turned it off at halftime.
It was
Halftime,
bad.
I was like, click. I went to bed. I did not. I said, I'm not staying up to watch this. And sure enough, they didn't even make it close after that. Sad, man.
It absolutely was sad.
But I'll say this. I think sometimes we overanalyze. Like we want Ant-Man to be Jordan so bad. He's not Jordan. He's Ant-Man. And we got to give this boy a chance to grow. And so he's been to the Western Conference Finals twice. But we keep seeing people put pressure on him that like he's Michael Jordan. He's not Michael Jordan. He's Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
He's Anthony Edwards. Let's stop this comparison. Making this guy be something more than he's not.
No, because Mike wouldn't have went out like that.
And I want to come back for all these other people They're trying to say that Randall was this great player. This is the Randall that we saw in New York every year. This is the Randall. The game before last night, 7 points
Yep.
in a big spot. That's the Randall we know.
Ant-Man the Can't-Man.
Oh man,
That's terrible. That's terrible. Y'all are ruthless out there. Y'all are ruthless.
they held Minnesota to 9 points in the first quarter yesterday.
Yeah.
In today's NBA, you hold a team to 9 points in the quarter. I knew it was gonna be a long night once they did that.
By the way, the New York Liberty are now 5-0. It's a juggernaut, man. It's a juggernaut.
After we said it,
They're a
the other
juggernaut.
night. They tried to become a dynasty. They're setting up to become a dynasty.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, the Size are doing a great job. Now, if they can turn the Nets around, they'd be even better.
Oh,
But they got the Liberty part right. They yeah.
yeah, they got to get the Nets right.
And the crazy part is Natasha Cloud's not even shooting well yet. When she get her shot together, but again, her presence as a point guard just opens everything else up. Stewie tonight, 27 points. Doesn't have to be a facilitator anymore. Sabrina Ionescu, 24 points tonight. Doesn't have to be a facilitator anymore.
She's playing as the off guard.
That Natasha Cloud pickup is huge. And while she hasn't shot well, her defense has been stellar.
I didn't even know that the Aces got rid of Kelsey Plum. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they didn't get rid of her.
Well,
They let her
she's in
go and
LA.
they traded her,
Yeah, she's in LA.
which I thought was tough. I don't know what they're trying to do because again, you've got the best player in the game. No disrespect to Caitlin Clark, but until she proves herself, Asia Wilson's still the best player in the game. Let's just call it what it is. Asia Wilson's still the best player in the game. But so Vegas has the best player in the game, and I'm just like, who's still in her prime? How are you not continuing to build around that? You won a championship 2 out of the last 3 years. 2 out of the last 3 years. Last year you got bumped by the eventual champion in the semifinal round. I can't call it the conference finals because
Right.
they do things a little bit differently. But they got bumped in the semifinals by the eventual champion. I mean, you're right there. Like, how do you trade Kelsey Plum? I don't know. But those are things we'll be discussing on our Tuesday night show when we get back to it. Hopefully, we won't be getting back to it till the end of June. But but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Game 6, Saturday from Indianapolis, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Tip-off 8 o'clock again. Fees is great, but Asia Wilson is the best player in the WNBA. Nafisa Collier is absolutely wonderful, but
She's not better than Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson is the best player in the WNBA. Asia Wilson is definitely the best player in the WNBA. But we're going to get out of here. Thank you again for joining us, everybody who rock with us, all of the wonderful Knick fans that are here and who rock with us every single week. Please don't forget to share this. Even after we go off, share this with another big basketball fan, another big sports fan. And don't forget, we're Church Guys Sports Show. So we're not just, I got to say this because, I see this in people's comments who really don't understand us. We are not a Knicks show. Yes, the Knicks are the favorite team of all of the hosts, but we are a sports show. So if you want to talk basketball, you saw we answered William Stinson Jr.'s question about wrestling. You want to talk baseball. You want to talk the W. We are here to talk sports. Right now, because the Knicks are in a conference finals run, we are in the middle of doing post-game shows after every game. We've been doing this now for 3 years. The last 3 playoffs, this is what we do. We do we do playoff post-game shows. This is our staple, and this is how you guys came to fall in love with us and how we segued into our regular Tuesday night spot. But please understand, whatever your sport is, we got you covered here on the Church Guys Sports Show. So, for all of us here, from myself, for Bishop J. Mack, Bishop L, who just finished preaching, came on for 5 minutes and out. And for Pastor Davey, or superintendent, wherever he at. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you Saturday night. Orange and blue skies over New York. And hopefully Saturday there'll be orange and blue skies over Indiana. We will see you Saturday night after the game. Have a great night, everyone.
Yo, this is the state of emergency. Check. I need all my Knicks fans right now to grab your jerseys, your popcorn, your sodas, whatever you gotta do to get ready for this game. I don't care if you're a cheerleader, an athlete, a couch potato. We're here to restore the field. Matter of fact, how do you say it from New York? What I say from New York? Hey, yo, let's go now. Hey, yo, I bring that New York energy. Talking 42nd Street, alley hoop finger roll. Ain't nobody checking me. Crossover through the legs, step back, hit it 3. Still up in the hood, but got big baller tendencies. She just trying to get flued out to John Kennedy just to see the Knicks play, make a couple memories. New York, if you ain't from here, don't pretend to be. And if you ain't rocking with the Knicks, you an enemy. Yeah, look at us, whole city is wild. This is New York, why y'all ever counted us out? Any game we attend, yeah, we taking it now. Fast break on the court, all up and down. Lead a garden in the pigsty, yeah, we get it on this side. Bacon, egg, and cheese, or the lobster mac with the ribeye. Either way, we winning the overtime if we get tired. Get it with the team, yeah, that's just something we live by. Hey, yo, first quarter in, we gon' turn it up. Gotta warm up first, then we taking it down.